Today on my RC channel, the Grave Digger SMT ready to run kit from Axial gets a little bit more power under that body. In the first episode of Monster May, we ran this truck out of the box on 2S and 3S and then had to replace the motor, so I put a 12-turn double Reedy modified in it from Grandpa BB, and then we raced it against some clodbusters. And then in episode 2 of Monster May, we upgraded this truck to a 10.5 turn brushless GM motor with a Hobbywing ESC. And in this episode, we're going to take it even further, and we're going to put this 8.5 turn rocket brushless sensored motor in this truck with the same Hobbywing ESC and generic cooling fans, but we're also going to put King Fling tires on it and a high torque JX servo. Unfortunately, in this truck, you have to remove the entire motor and transmission assembly to be able to adjust the gear mesh between the pinion and the spur gear. Also, finding a place for this cooling fan assembly turned out to actually be pretty difficult, having to remove the front and rear axle just so I could spot inside there and get the thing moved around and fitted to where it really belonged. It is an awful tight squeeze and still does kind of contact the chassis a little bit. That steering servo isn't very hard to access even when the axle installed into the truck, but with the axle completely removed, it's a total no-brainer, so I took the time to install the JX Servo EcoBoost High Volt CLS6336HV servo on this rig. After getting all the wires routed and that fan situated, it's time to reassemble this truck and take her for a rip. Don't forget protection. I used the Kimbrough Servo Saver 124 because that is going to work just fine for this. Axial SMT10 with some Fling King tires, an 8.5 turn rocket motor, and a Hobbywing brushless ESC on 3S. I've also put an EcoBoost servo in the front and the extra large Kimbrough Servo Saver. Let's give her a rip on 3S, shall we? Don't forget to check in the description below for the links to the parts I used for this truck. I'll also include the list of the parts that I used in the previous episodes, although really all I changed out was the motor and the lower links. Oh, and I changed out the tires for some J Concept Fling King 2.2 tires that I scored off of eBay for 60 bucks. But hey, all this came together to make a really awesome package on 3S that turned out to be pretty stout.
Yeah, it's on 3S. Oh, gee. Yeah, it looks pretty fast.
Ah. Got a lot of power.
I'm sorry. This thing's insane.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what was that? You gotta be so careful with it.
Yeah, 8.5 turns and 3S is a pretty awesome thing. That motor's not even really getting warm in there. Oh, so close. All right, well, originally I kind of had my doubts on the toughness of this Axial kit, but you know, with a proper geared 8.5 turn brush motor on 3S with 15 degrees of extra timing on it, it's fast, very fast, and it survived everything. I mean, with the exception of some cracks in the body now. And those lower aluminum leaks held up to all of the punishment we put it up to. So, awesome. You guys go, Axial. Good job. Alright guys, well that's going to wrap it up for this truck on my RC channel as far as being a project vehicle. We ran it full pack 3S and just beat the crap out of this truck, and it just took everything. So, long-term review, I'd say that the truck is pretty stout. The weak spot seems to be the trailing arms, so get those replaced with some decent aluminum ones. I got these ones for 18 bucks a pair off of Amazon, no big deal. And upgraded the servo, put some better tires on it, and then put an 8.5 turn motor in it. And this thing is bananas, and it is awesome. And it took everything I just sent it today. So, you guys have a great weekend. Peace.